Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the St. Louis Browns, and our very first season with a brand new franchise. Um, the AL has been up for grabs for a while now. Clearly, my mojo with the Boston Red Sox has already departed, never to be seen again. Let's take a quick peeky peek at our home park so we can start thinking about what kind of team we want to build. We have a hitter's park. Um, it's not super extreme, but that's good to know. We have a hitter's park, and we're going to want to plan for that. We don't have a ton of top tier talent. We do have some very good pitching, very good pitching, but our lineup definitely has holes in it. While I'm reasonably pleased with Buddy Rosar and Dolph Camilli, third base is meh. Second base is meh. Shortstop is meh. Um, John Stone is pretty solid, but he's already 34. He won't be good forever. Rudy York is probably the closest thing we have to a top quality player, and he really needs to be at first base. Like, he's a terrible center fielder. Will be crippling his team if we start him in center. I have no doubt. And Stan Spence is pretty solid too. That is what we presently face. We do have some decent young pitching talent in the high minors, and the persons of Vern Olson and Vern Stevens, the Vern and Vern connection. But we need better offense. We need more consistent hitters if we're going to be a great baseball team. Let us first begin by setting up our player development strategy, our strategery, if you will. Oh, you've actually already done all this. Okay. That's a choice. I'm not gonna cancel it. I'm just gonna let it go, but that is something we'll have to consider. Um why would we ever play Rudy York in center field? Playing him a catcher makes sense. He's not a bad catcher, but he's certainly not a center fielder. Let's check the indies and let's see what gains may be had there. Because we're picking what, like barely in the top 10? Who's even in this draft? It's not a great draft for position players. Are my coaches any good? I do need a new pitching coach. Give me a Lyle. I think he's a great choice. So is George Beck, but I think I'll actually take Beck instead. Because I don't want people working on mechanics and hit the major leagues. Ooh, Huck Wallace is even better though. Let's get Huck. Huck you, mother Hucker. I think I saw set up that we sign our own. Yeah, here we go. Minor league coaches. Is our scouting director good or is he shit? Let's find out. He is terrible. Shit can him immediately. Ricardo Torres, get your ass over here. That's what I'd like to see. Um, Tommy Lynch sucks. All of you guys suck. You're all terrible coaches. No wonder why this team was so bad. I'm gonna fire the hitting coach too and get us a better one. The hittingest hitting coach that ever hit and coached. That's what I'm fucking talking about. Ball player Hitchcock. Welcome to the St. Louis Browns. We're gonna get some great high caliber coaches to help round things out. For the rest of the coaches, I don't care too much. Um, I will also be maximizing player development because I have nothing better to do with my money. Oh, right. Sorry. There you go. Scouting. I'll just say 60,000 because it'll reset. And then we don't have international scouting, so why on earth would I ever put money into it? Give me amateur scouting, minor league scouting, and then put the rest in the major league scouting. That seems good. I can live with that. And then I'm not going to bother signing new players until I get my new scouting director. So we're just going to zip past time here for a bit. All right. Let's start hiring some people. Players. Let's start with hitters. All leagues. 50 potential. You're not a bad player, and you're good, and oh, you're actually really good in terms of leadership. But I've got plenty of leadership right now. Leadership is not my issue. So I don't think I'll be signed. You could play second base, though. I'll potentially come back to you. We do have third baseman Oscar Givens. I'm willing to give him a shot. Yeah, we can add him. I can pay $9,000 for him. He's got so much power, and he's not even a terrible second baseman. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Have you even been a good first baseman in the last few years? You really haven't. I'll have to sort this one out a bit later on. Any high quality young pitching prospects by chance? I mean, Rene Cortez is extremely far from the major leagues, but for $9,000, getting a potential ultra ace is perfect. Eh, there's not a lot to be excited about a soft tossing pitcher. JC Hamilton? Potentially. Willie Hutchinson is an obvious yes. He's a really, really good pitcher. And I will sign Walter Barbie. So I'm just gonna dump money into signing high quality minor league talent. Max Manning, absolutely. Let's bring you along. So my big issue is going to be I'm going to have a really tough time finding quality hitters. But that might address itself in free agency or the draft. So we got Huckleberry Wallace. They did not pay you more money than I will. I will give you $6,000 if you just sign right now. I have all of the money. I will happily pay you. Nice. Dolph Camilli did just win a Gold Glove, as did Les Scarcella. What about the National League? How many Bs won? Bs. Just Joe DiMaggio and Frank Damari. Nice. Nobody won. Nobody important won National League Run Reliever of the Year. John Stone got a Silver Slugger award. That's pretty exciting. DiMaggio got one for the Boston Bees. You thought you were free of my terrible accent. Oh, it's just beginning. Good year to be a Philadelphia A, I guess. Nice. Junior Thompson got Rookie of the Year. I suspected he might. Alas, the Cardinals, who finished 69 and 85 last year, got Manager of the Year. Oh, God. Talk about failing up. Claude Passot finished second. None of the Bs got better than third. But Joe DiMaggio won another MVP. That seems pretty likely. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I could start trying to trade pitchers to add on hitters, but I kind of want to wait till after the draft. Nice. All right. Let us draft some bait. Oh, I could do Hall of Fame voting. Let me do that real fast. I will vote for Max Bishop, even though it's a waste of time because he'll never get elected. I'll vote for Chappie. Wow, there's just like nobody left. I will vote for Gabby Hartnett. And a Herb Pennock and Joe Sewell. Not quite as good as real life Turkey Stearns, but pretty good. Pretty good. I'll vote for Hack Wilson too. Alright, let's draft. Um Earl Johnson is a really good pitcher. I don't need pitching. I have to force myself to not go for pitching. I need infielders, but I don't need pitching. Ferris Fane is a perfectly cromulent outfielder. He's kind of an on base machine, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it does limit his raw upside, I think. Johnny Pesky would be a pretty solid choice. So would Snuffy Sternweiss. I think the fact that Pesky plays a competent shortstop makes him more valuable. And he's also got really good personality, so I think we'll go ahead and grab Johnny Pesky and offer him his demand. Cliff Mapes. Really good is a really good position player. Yeah, we're gonna grab Cliffy here. I will buy you out, my friend. You needn't concern yourself with that. Charlie Gilbert's just a good outfielder. Like he doesn't do anything great, but he does a lot of things okay, and that is a more than acceptable thing to have in our system. Easy choice. Charlie Mead is a pretty good outfielder with some decent pitching. He can't hit, but everything else about him is pretty exciting. Let's do it. Let's frickin' go. Charlie Duncan might actually pick up some velocity in the future. That's worthy of a fourth round pick to figure out if he can do it. Probably can't, but. And I'm gonna let you do your thing, game. Go forth, be happy. Negotiate. What if I gave you 15 grand? I bet that'll convince you to sign with me. I think we've added a lot of talent, but I also know that it's going to take time for us to be in a good position going forward. Um. Okay, I've got to. Oh, who the fuck is Jesse Williams? Where did you come from? It says I purchased him. I don't remember that. I mean, I'll happily take it. He's very clearly a worthy third baseman. I'm gonna try to flip Walter Barbie into. Oh, I guess I could just give him to a reliever. I bet he'd be a really good one. I'm not exactly flush with quality relievers, so Walter Barbie, you get to make the team. Jesse Williams, you're not going to spend a single second in the major minor leagues as good as you look right now. You're being called up to the majors. I need an actual center fielder. I mean, I guess I could just let Scarcella play center field again, but that seems like a poor choice. Novikov can't play center. Spence can play center. I mean, other than being able to play center with reasonable competency, I don't think he's a great player, but he's decent. Set Rudy York up as a catcher, please. And then we just have a highly overqualified backup catcher. That's fine with me. But having playing Rudy York in center field is the stupidest fucking idea I've ever heard. Is pretty dumb. Okay, let's go up to the Rule 5 draft and see what we can snag. Yeah, Frankie Hawkins, I'm not convinced you're very good. I think I'm just going to release you. I guess I could just demote you, that's fine too. How close is Vern Stevens to Major League ready? Not even in the same ballpark as being ready. It's going to take you a while, which is fine. I mean, he was literally my number one draft pick from 2 years ago, so we can give him a wait, I guess. I suppose. Who's our most expendable player? It's Dolph Camilli, isn't it? Maybe. Or maybe not. I don't know. Is there anybody intriguing in the Rule 5? There's some guys that are in the 40s. I don't really feel like that's worthy of a roster spot. So I think we're just going to go ahead and auto-complete the draft. Wow, Phil Rizzuto couldn't make a major league team. Huh. All right. Ah, the Purge. Haha, Woodrow Wilson. You were a shitty president, too. Preseason began. Do I? I do. Look at these. Look at these chumps. Depart St. Louis, never to return, you filthy commoners. Gabby Hartnett is the only one voted into the Hall of Fame. That's surprising to me, actually. I completely missed that Heine Mnuchin retired. That's a shame. I would have voted. I would have voted for him pretty hard. Because he's a really good player. Oh well. I don't know how I missed him, unless he just didn't have a very convincing WAR, so I missed the fact he had over 3,000 hits. But he'll make it next year. I'd be surprised if he did, but all right. So nothing terribly thrilling has happened yet. I'd have to be willing to trade somebody if we're going to upgrade the rotation. Or the lineup, rather. I'm not saying I'm not willing, but I'm saying that it may not be prudent. Um, how close is Johnny Pesky or Vern Stevens being Major League ready? Pretty far, it looks like. Because my current shortstop is Eddie Miller, and Eddie Miller is competent. He's certainly not great, but he is competent. And I think we can wait until Mr. Pesky is ready to go. The fuck is Johnny Pesky? I thought he signed already. Yeah, we did. Where are you? You're just chilling like a villain. Okay. Um, I feel like a true center fielder would be worth acquiring. Let's have a peek. Okay, I want hitters with at least 50 potential that play center field. God, the fucking bees sicken me. So many tremendous players. What an asshole that guy must have been. Oh, wait a minute. Hmm. I want a guy who plays center field pretty proficiently and is also fairly young. Like Wally Udnich would actually be a pretty perfect acquisition for us. What would it cost me to get him on my team? Literally nobody. Okay, duly noted. What about Bill Nicholson? Does that know that's not non-starter as well? Okay, cool. I think it's funny that every center fielder that could even remotely play the position well ended up on my team. The Bees. What about Joe DiMaggio? I had to try. What if we could stand the man actually? Okay. Alright. So we're not going to be getting it through trade, it would seem. So we're going to have to get creative once the season actually gets closer to starting here. Oh, hang on a tick. I want to set that one feature that I discovered in the other franchise where it tells you how much they improved. Yeah, there we go. The size of the development lab is the same size as your mom. I mean, Dizzy Trout randomly getting worse as he turns 24 isn't a great look. Bernolson becoming awesome is pretty good, though. Like, I don't see us not giving Vern Olsen a shot in the rotation, especially not over Bill Lee. Are there any hitters being offered, if I were to ask? Mike Krivich is a decent defender, but I don't think he's what I'm looking for. I could get campy. Well, I guess my question: how are you being listed as a position player? Because you're actually not a bad center fielder. Okay. Maury Arnovich isn't terrible. I guess Krivich does make some sense because he's a really good center fielder. I think this is a worthwhile trade. Let's do it. Complete. And then Vern Olsen is probably not as major league ready as Willie Hutchison. I think we go for Hutchinson now. Call him up. Puzzling. Yes. Let's advance forward in time. Oh, right. Yeah, you should be in the Major League roster. Sorry, Mike. That was never my intention to forget about you. So I've got four reasonably good outfielders and some that are way past their prime. Kiki Collier, you have nothing up to offer to St. Louis Browns. You are a really good player. It might even be a Hall of Famer. But for right now, you suck. Kiki, I wish you well for another team, but not for this one. Gus Dugas, you're a decent defender, but that's not good enough to make a major league roster for me. Now there's other players who can do the exact same thing. I'm gonna wait until spring training starts. Okay, so who's gonna spring training shots? Obviously Manning and Olsen and Matchett. Bernardino. Charlie Gilbert cannot play center field that well, but he's still an okay outfielder. I'm willing to give him a shot. Tom Early. There's the Pescinator. Did I just call him the Pescinator? You're damn right I did. Give me a six-man rotation here in the off season, and let's see who actually gets spots here. Look at Hutchison, Manning, Olsen, Bridges, and Paso would end up being my starters. That seems pretty good, actually. Lineups. Let's reset everything up. I don't really want Mike Kriovich leading off, but I can deal with that later. Why are we playing him over Rudy York? Uh, I'll tell you why we're not. It's not like he's not playing fairly frequently, so I'm fine with it for spring training purposes, but he will not be your opening day catcher unless something has gone horribly wrong. Ooh, stamina's improved. Nice. And your BABIP has improved. Way to go, Sam Jethro. I don't even know who the fuck you are. You're an average player. Love that for me. I love having players that have no discernible skills. All right, guys. Mission number one. We're gonna send a sniper to Boston to take out Joe DiMaggio, and then just keep shooting people until there are none left. I think that's going to be critical for us if we do manage to come out with of the American League with a pennant, which you very well might. We very well might. I've won the honor of Evan, huh? All right. Let's get the roster set up. How many pitchers do I have? I have 18 pitchers. I'd like to drop down to 11. Minors. Minor. Oh, you'd have to clear waivers. How about I just cut you? I'm gonna cut you. Minors. Minors. I think Matchett goes to the minors. I think Manning and Olson both make the team. So this gives me 12 players. Let's get her one more pitcher. I'm going to try to pass Jim Johnson through waivers. I'm not just going to flat out cut him. I don't think he's completely useless. I just think he's not very helpful. Tom Patton has literally nothing to offer. Um, Peacock to the minors. I like Day Sawtels. He's a really good defensive catcher, but I'm already have an overqualified backup catcher in the presence of Buddy Rosar. I could just play Rudy York at first base and trade Dolph Camilli. Bernardino to the minors. Dib Williams offers nothing. The fans are going to be cranky, but Dolph Camilli literally does nothing that Rudy York doesn't also do. I'm going to try to trade Dolph Camilli and just see what else might be on tap if I asked for it. What about a prospect package? Okay, we get Campy, Eugene Bremer, and Whitey Whittleman. I agree. That's not a great offer. I could trade him for an even more over the hill catcher. I think I'm going to pass on that, but thank you for the offer. Bringing in Frank Damari isn't a stupid idea. It's overpaying for sure. But I could get Dizzy Dean and. I mean, I don't really want to trade with my old team, though, is the thing. I kind of want to avoid that if I can. But nobody else is making any offers for him. Would you give me both players? Because I believe enough in Dizzy Dean that I'm happy to make him one of our pitchers. Uh, Give me Damari and Dean, and we can call it good. Oh, opening day is tomorrow. Frankie Hawkins has nothing to offer. Goodbye. Eddie Mayo, goodbye. Harry Williams, goodbye. Johnny Gill and B. Young, you can both be gone. Willie Sims and L.D. Livingston, you gone. And then Charlie Gilbert will go to the minors. I'm going to sim one day to see if we can make this trade for Camille happen. You want Beasley, who sucks? Yes. Damari makes us better. Dean makes us better. I think it has to happen. As far as outfielders go, whenever I could trade Les Scarcella for somebody. Because his only value is defensive, which means getting a decent prospector might be possible. You know what? Lafayette Dumas, you're in. Now I have a place for Damari, and I just need to figure out who plays which positions. All right. So let's first start with the pitching staff. 5-man rotation. Hutchinson, Manning, Olson, Passo, and Bridges. I like the idea of Dizzy Dean being the arch stopper slash emergency guy if somebody gets hurt. Uh, Dizzy Trout is going to be long relief, middle relief. I just want him to stretch out his arm a bit more. Because he hasn't had a ton of time in the major leagues. I think he'll actually benefit from playing more regularly in a relief role. And then everybody else is just going to need middle relief. And we'll just see what happens as the season progresses. I have no left-handed relievers. This could be an issue down the line. For now, I'm not worried about it. All right. Murder all the depth charts and all the lineups. Don't literally murder them. Please don't murder them. But okay. My very best contact guy is Buddy Rosar. He has got enough speed that I think we can trust him to be a leadoff guy, or at least a number two. What if we do Jesse Williams to lead off and play third base, and we do Buddy Rosar to hit second? They should do a pretty good job of setting the table for our power guys. So Rudy York plays first base. Interesting. I don't have a ton of power right now, do I? I feel like Damari is a little bit too good to not be given an opportunity to play every day. But he's not a power guy. He is not a power guy. Lou Novikov could be. I'm gonna play Frank Damari in left field and bat him fifth. And I'm gonna play Lou Novikov is gonna hit cleanup and bat with fourth. I mean, Stan Spence is actually objectively a better player than he is. No, we're gonna play Stan Spencer, right? Not Lou Novikov. Sorry, Lou. Um, Mike Krievich, 100% bats eighth. Eddie Miller certainly bats seventh. Eddie Miller can bat sixth, I suppose. Clarence Israel isn't a terrible choice to play second base, especially when Eddie Juiced only has. Well, he's actually a really good second baseman, so I guess it makes sense. Plus, he's got the potential to be a much better hitter than this. So, you know what, my friend? I will give you that opportunity. There we go. Give me a depth chart. We're probably slightly under where we should be because I'm not that convinced that Damari should be playing over Stone, but he's also a lot younger than Stone. So I'm willing to give him a chance. This is not an imposing lineup, not by any stretch of the imagination. Jesse Williams should help with that, and I'm hoping he can be a dynamic top of the lineup player at third base. Like an awful lot is being placed on the broad shoulders of Rudy York. While I believe he can do it, I wish he had more protection in the lineup. But we must deal with what we have at the moment and hope to do better in the future. Let us presently baseball, friends and neighbors. Jim Johnson easily makes it through waivers. That's unfortunate. I don't really have a second baseman that I can trust. Because Vern Stevens doesn't play second base. He only plays short, third, and first. He probably could play second base, but that's not the point. Johnny Pesky also only plays third and short. Really? Shit. Who's hanging out in free agency that plays second base? Nobody. Let's check the trade block. Batting ratings. Gus Sewer is not a second baseman. Not even a little bit. Hirsch Martin is. Hirsch Martin is a little bit better second baseman defensively, but he has very little power. Eric McNair is a little bit more balanced in terms of offensive capabilities. But any one of them could also go for a Joseph Dowdy. But I don't trust his relative lack of contact. I don't know that he'll be a great player in our team. Um, let's test the waters for Eric McNair. You want Don Gutteridge? You've got Don Gutteridge. Not even 1/10 of a second's hesitation. Don Gutteridge fucking sucks. So Eric McNair, you're in, while Eddie Juiced is recovering. And then fuck it, I'm gonna call Vern Stevens because I genuinely have nobody else that I trust to handle the infield. So we're gonna call him up. McNair's gonna play second base. We're gonna generate a new depth chart, which has Johnstone playing once a week. I like how Johnstone is actually better than Frank Damari, and yet Damari wins because that's just how I am apparently. Copy these both over, please. Why would anybody want Don Gutteridge, the infielder who can't infield? That's crazy. That's a bonkers in the extreme. We need young quality outfielders pretty badly. I think I got so caught up in investing in infielders that I neglected the need to get outfielders too, but we desperately need them. Um, the Yankees ended up with Ferris Fane. That's pretty wild. I mean, I know that I could have had him, so I'm not too upset. But I am wondering whether potentially I made a boo boo by passing up on him for Johnny Pesky when I didn't actually need an infielder as badly as I thought I did. Undisclosed injury. Did you like get your dick caught in a pencil sharpener? You awkwardly picked up your kid. Well, see, that's why you just don't have kids. It's math. Your kids can't injure you if you don't have them. Well, I mean, we have guinea pigs, and they've definitely bitten us before. Because they're little turds, but we still love them. We love our silly little pigs. Okay. Do you know my man not helping? Okay. Um, Renee Montegudo is going to get called up, but the one who's actually going to be starting in his place is Dizzy Dean. We're going to give Dino a chance to show that he can still pitch. And then who's actually been the best reliever? It's been Clay Bryant. So get in there and be our new stopper. Okay, we get Eddie back. I'm gonna send Clarence Israel to the minor leagues, and we're gonna call up East and let him have his thing. Let him baseball again to the best of his abilities as a baseball man. Copy lay depth chart. Okay. The AL is tough as shit. I think I've been spoiled a bit by playing the National League where the bees are able to just dominate all the time. That is certainly not the case here. Um, Johnny Pesky is developing quite quickly, which is good to see. It's wild. It's lovely. We have the best lineup in the AL. I did not expect that. I expected we'd have a really good pitching staff. I did not expect we'd have a bad bullpen. But I guess that makes sense because Zidane has struggled as our closer. But damn, our lineup is good. It's been real good. Like, not a single hitter is hitting poorly, and that's awesome. Yeah, we've got ourselves a really good team this year. It still could be better. It absolutely could be better. But Eddie Miller hitting this fucking well is pretty wild. And even if he doesn't have the best range as shortstop, that's okay. I can work with that. I can work with a lot of people to just put the ball in play. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that approach. And we're also still pretty good at hitting home runs, which I was actually concerned about. Mostly because of Rudy York, but also because of Eddie Miller and Stan Spence. Jesse Williams is off to a fabulous start for his career, which is wonderful news. My man is drawing walks, hitting doubles, hitting triples. Already stolen 21 bases, and he steals the base every other game essentially, which is completely crazy, and I love it. Yeah, I see no reason to fuck with a good thing. Let's just keep plowing away. Disney Trot's a really good reliever. I'm gonna go ahead and send Monte Agudo back to the minors and call up Trout. And I'm gonna make Trout a setup guy if we need one. I could also just put Trout back in the rotation, especially if Dizzy Dean continues to struggle. But we'll see. Okay. This is not ideal. I can call up Charlie Gilbert, but I don't want him starting in center field. Damari's a 55. Let's give John Stone what he's wanted all season. Put Damari in center and bring in John Stone to play left field. Copy. Paste. With Max Manning's return, Jack Matchett's going to the minor leagues. And good old Maxi Boy here is going to take his rotation spot back, and Dizzy Dean's going to go back to being a reliever. Can you just stop injuring my fucking team? Please? Johnny Peacock isn't terrible, but it's certainly not who I was hoping to catch this season. I guess we can start this guy. John Stone, you're hitting second now. And Johnny the Peacock is going to be our backup catcher. So go ahead and copy this. Copy the lineup too. Okay. All right. So I mean, Buddy Rosar is getting better. Eddie Juiced is getting better. Jesse Williams is getting even better. Fred Stevens is improving. Eddie Miller's improving. We've got some really good young players that are getting better, and that's awesome. That's really, really good. Good old Crash Davis. Although obviously the best crash was a first. It was a catcher. I understand it. Let's kick the tires and see if there's any interesting position players that have appeared in the minor leagues, in the independent minors. Because that's the key, right? It's getting quality young players at all levels and making sure that there's plenty of depth because injuries will happen. And we need to make sure that we've got championship caliber depth as well as championship caliber starters. Who made it? Tommy Bridges, Vern Olson, Claude Passau, and Clay Bryant. Position player wise, Rudy York, Jesse Williams, and Stan Spence. Nice. Very nice. Brilliant. Let's continue. That's two rookies, by the way, that are making the All Star team their rookie year, in both Vern Olson and Jimmy Williams. Jesse Williams, sorry. Was Jesse Williams a Negro Leaguer in really? I've never heard of him before. Wow, really? Huh. This fucker came in for a total of 24 innings and never came up to bat. Sorry, total of 48 innings and never once got a plate appearance. That's so crazy, but I love it. We have found a megastar, potentially. I don't care what the fans think. The fans are going to be really happy when I win the World fucking Series, so settle down, man. Mike Krivich, how's Frank Damari handling center field? He is struggling. He's holding his own defensively, I suppose. Let me have Krivich rehab. Yeah, give me Buddy back. Buddy Rosar needs to return to his former glory. Because he's been a really good hitter this year. And also a damn good catcher. Um, what did I just do? That's not what I wanted at all. There you go. Buddy Rosar, I'd like you to hit reasonably high, but I mean, I guess I could swap you in Damari. I can't believe that Frank Damari ended up being a mistake. That's kind of funny, actually. This whole time I'm like, yeah, that guy fucking sucks. Okay, fine, I'll bring him over to my new team. It turns out he actually fucking sucks. His problem is he's always going to be based very heavily on batting average for him to be an effective hitter. If he's not hitting for a high average, he's not going to be a good hitter. Unlike John Stone, who's also struggling. Actually, the outfield as a whole is struggling, other than Stan Spence, who's actually playing quite well. That's our priority for the offseason, if not here at the deadline, is finding high quality outfielders to support the rest of the roster. The Palestine Pals. What an amazing name for a baseball team. All right. Is anybody putting up top caliber outfielders for consideration? Jimmy Ripple's pretty decent, but they're not going to want to trade with me. At least I don't think they're going to want to. Let me keep looking. Bob. Bob. Bob Johnson, maybe. He gives another big thumper, and I think that's can only be beneficial. He's a maybe. I will happily offer you Damari for Bob Johnson. And then we get interesting. We go ahead and bring Mike Kriovich back. Wrong button. And we send down Charlie Gilbert. And then we also bench John Stone, who's clearly struggling badly. Okay, check it out, yo. Buddy Rosar goes back and plays second. New guy Bob Johnson plays left field. Mike Kriovich plays center field. And Eddie Juiced gets a promotion. Generating me a depth chart, if you please. I'm not playing John Stone at this point. He's proven he can't handle Major League play anymore. He's literally only still on my team because I don't know what else to do with him. So kindly shut thy butt, game. What is there on the market for a young, handsome gentleman like Rocky Stone, John Stone? Nobody wants him at all. That's not surprising. I don't think I want anything else right now. I could have added an important new power source and Bob Johnson will only make us more deadly as a team. I know he's not a great defender, but I think I'm okay with that. Especially when I have John Stone to come in and play defense if I need him to. I think his power is more valuable to me right now. Right now, anyway. Aren't you also one of my former players? Yeah, very briefly. All right, let's end the trade deadline. I don't think there's anything else I want from anybody. Ted Williams is really fucking good. It's almost not fair to try to compete with him for MVP awards and shit. This is just too Ted Williams for us. We do need dynamic outfielders, though. I think that's got to be our top priority here at the beginning of next season. Oh my god, Gabe. Stop injuring my team. Angry honking noises. Vern Stevens, you're fucking up, mate. But don't fuck up, please. I beg you. I've put a lot of pressure on some rookies this year, and for the most part, they've shined. Not all of them, but most of them have. As a certainty. Um, which is going to be interesting, assuming we do make the postseason. If we win the AL pennant, it's going to be interesting to see how the young. Oh my god, game. Kriovich, stop getting fucking hurt. Figure it out amongst yourselves. What the fuck, game? Quit crippling my infielders. Holy shit. I guess it's Johnny fucking Pesky's turn. Maybe he can have his leg chewed off by a shark or whatever the latest bullshit is. Lord. Are you putting fucking landmines out by shortstop? Is that what's happening here? Then we should stop doing that. Ted Williams is going to easily win the Triple Crown this year. Like, I don't think any of my players can catch up in anything, and we're the best team other than Los Tigres. I just want to be real here. I do not enjoy churning through shortstops at this level here. Vern Stevens. I think I'd rather have you come up. Yeah, I want to be more than Johnny Pesky. So Vern Stevens can slide in and play shortstop for a couple of days, and then what's his face gets his job back. Eddie Miller, because he's been really good this year. There we go. I don't have to sign anybody down. Get back in there, Miller. Hmm. Am I gonna have to fucking trade John Stone because the game is just gonna get obsessed with him? That seems like it's a possibility. Hey, you want your job back? Start hitting again, man. That's why you got benched. Um, Bob Johnson has not been incredible as a St. Louis Brown, but he has hit for power. He has the pop we're looking for, even if he's not necessarily a worthy everyday player. At least not necessarily. 2,500 hits for Jimmy Fox, 400 home runs for Mel Ott. That's some all-time legends right there. That one hurts. Clay Bryant has been a really good pitcher for us. Really, really good. I guess I could call up Jack Matchett. Like, who's my next best reliever? I guess it's Dizzy Trout, question mark? I don't feel great about it, but we'll figure it out, I suppose. Damn, the Yankees just fucking ran us over. But we've clinched the pennant. It's gonna be us and the Bees. Um, I genuinely don't know if we can beat the Boston Bees, though. Because the general manager they had was pretty smart and handsome. Um, but we're surely gonna try. We are surely gonna try. I will check my playoff roster. Yeah, it's everybody besides Johnny Pesky, which I'm perfectly fine with. I didn't think we'd be this good this fast. And yes, I know part of it is my imports of Hutchinson and Manning, but it's also calling up Vern Olsen, who we already had. It's turning Rudy York into an awesome first baseman instead of having him play center field for some fucking reason. It's finding Jesse Williams, who is already proving to be one of the best players in Major League Baseball. And it's seeing career years out of unexpected places like Eddie Miller. Just casually hitting double digit home runs and playing really good shortstop is always going to be a valuable skill. He's maybe not a perfect shortstop, but he's really good. I mean, Jeff Jones might be a better shortstop, so we might want to think about upgrading at third base potentially, but I'm not going to fucking argue with the best season in St. Louis Browns history. No, check that. There have been two that were arguably better. We won 95 games back in 1922. We won the World Series in 1923. But if we win the World Series this year, I think this automatically counts as the best season in Browns history. Up, oh, we lost a tight one in game one. We came back. Notice there's been very little offense from either side. Um, which is good because, good lord, is their offense terrifying to me. Uh, damn, son. Good job by Vern Olsen. Oh, no, we're not. I forgot which team I was. No, we got. Vern Olsen got beat up. Oh, no. Save us, Willie Hutchison. You're our only hope. Damn it. Yeah, it was going to be near impossible to keep this lineup quiet for even 4 games, let alone 5. And one player showed out offensively, which was Rudy York. Everybody else has got dominated. The Bees are a fucking terrifying team, and I think this will not be the last time that we meet them in the World Series and probably get destroyed. I'm not even upset. Um, I am not even upset. First, because it's my credit. Like, this is my team. They're both my team. Like, I can't choose between my children. But we still had one of the best seasons in St. Louis Browns history. And with a couple of extra players, man, fucking Ted Williams catches 4 fucking 100 in 1940. That's insane. Wow, thanks, game. Thanks for that amazing news. Yeah, we need a big time outfielder. I think that would take us a long way. But man, Jesse Williams is special. Truly special. I'm not going to say it's purely my enlightened leadership, but clearly it's purely my enlightened leadership. Joe fucking DiMaggio, man. Look at Johnny Rizzo's bitch ass denying once again a triple crown from Joe DiMaggio. He's tried so hard, guys. He's tried so hard. We will break down the roster and talk about who played well and who might need to be replaced, and then we'll end the episode. But I'm still very happy. We earned, what was it, like 10, 15 more wins than last year. And the thing is, like, the success isn't sustainable. Because you've got really good young talent. Um, so yeah, what a great season. What a tremendous season. Like, I can't even be angry with being destroyed by the bees, who are used to being here, right? It's gonna take us time to for our players to learn how to be clutch in the playoffs. We need more outfielders. We need consistency, and we need depth. Those, I think, are the three things that we really need going into next season to be even better than this year. We need top quality outfielders, though. That cannot be overstated. I don't know where we're going to find them, but we're going to try. There's also the possibility of the Negro League curse with pitchers' arms disintegrating, which we've seen happen time and time again. Um, yeah, I'm really pleased, by the way, very, very pleased about the official setting up of the major Negro Leagues as being equivalent to the major leagues. It isn't their fault they weren't allowed to play Major League Baseball. And I know people already gotten pissy about the fact like Josh Gibson now has the highest batting average, highest career batting average. Fucking deal with it. Um, yeah, like I don't know what else to tell you other than it's a thing. Live with it. Um, and getting mad about it because you're fucking Ty Cobb's best friend is just so stupid. It's so stupid. Of all the things to get angry about in professional sports, the fact that Negro Leaguers are being recognized as being equivalent to actual white major leaguers is not even in the top 100 things that should be annoying you right now. That's just my take on it. Um, and if you're like, well, actually, that's not fair. And it's not fair because they didn't play as many games as Ty Cobb. That's called fucking context. You can read the stats and be like, yes, Josh Gibson had a higher batting average and way fewer at bats, and then accept that. But don't get angry and pissy and throw the fucking bullshit about, oh, it's woke nonsense, blah, 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 blah. Just stop. Just stop. Why is 82? Oh, because Kiki Collier has retired. I don't know. I would have retired his number, but sure. Who played well for us? Who were our big players? Jesse Williams was utterly fantastic. I don't know why he's randomly lost his ability to play third base all of a sudden. Because he's going back to third base. Like, he was really, really good at it. Why on earth would I play him anywhere else? Yeah, he got on base at a ridiculous clip. He stole loads and loads of bases. He hit for enough power. Truly fantastic. And then we get Rudy York. Like, putting him in center field last season was fucking stupid. Look how much better he did when the defensive pressures fly away. He was really, really good. Arguably our best pound for pound hitter on the team. Stan Spence was indispensable. I love me. He was incredible. He was really, really good and a key piece to our success. Mike Krayovich was phenomenal. Like, I just needed great defense from him. And I got great defense. Mike Kravich will probably get himself his first gold glove. But it's also just a really good hitter and very timely as well. I think we made a phenomenal transaction to pick him up. Buddy Rosar got a chance to start every day as our catcher, and he did not disappoint. The Eddie, Team Eddie in the middle infield was very, very good. I wish Eddie Juiced had just a hint more power, but that power might be coming. Like, it's certainly not by any means that he will never hit for power. We know he has it in his makeup. We just need him to draw, coax that little extra talent out of his body. Very good second baseman. Error's a little bit high, but he played at a pretty high level, and I'm not too upset about that. We got some nice contributions, and then Bob Johnson was second in the team in homers. I asked for power. Lord knows I got it from him. If he ran into a few more bats, he'd be really something special. But he's got to run into a few more bats. Which maybe he'll do, maybe he won't. Our pitching was redonkulous. Check this out, guys. 4 starters at 5 wins or above replacement. Max Manning only falling below 5 because he got hurt. That's so good. An embarrassment to riches. And while I don't expect some or even most of these guys to continue, I think it is within our possibilities to see them continue. Potentially. Man, I would not want to be a Rookie of the Year award voter between Vern Olsen and Jeremy Williams. Jesse Williams. I'll get there. I think it's got to be Jesse Williams. I don't see it being anybody else just because of what he's managed to do in his very first season. But we'll see. We will absolutely see. Got to get outfielders. That's our motto for next season. The quest for outfielders who can support this incredible infield. But until next time, my friends, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.